The main event was excellent, and it was a long competitive match with plenty of interrupted pins. As I say, easily the type of match you'd see on a big pay-per-view. And indeed, that's all to say about FCW this week.
Yeah, and the future's bright for Alex Riley, so expect big things from this kid. I think he's going to be around quite some time.
Yeah, indeed, and best of luck to Justin in his career in the future. I think he has got a bright one ahead. Now, wrestledope@gmail.com. If you're watching us on YouTube, and you can see this monitor right behind us, well, we've left it blank this week, because we want that to be where you are. And indeed, if you watch us on YouTube, or you watch us on Justin, add us to your Skype, wrestledope@gmail.com, and you can then get us each and every week. You can get on there and have your say, and indeed appear live on video if you have that webcam set up.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you, and even if you have a channel on Justin that you broadcast your own stuff on and you want to do and put it over, come on Skype and you can cut a little promo, and fingers crossed you might put us over on your show too. So yeah, fire in those calls, and we'll pick somebody out, and you can ask us whatever the hell you want.
Now, TNA Impact this week from this past Monday, once again on now an hour earlier, no longer directly competing with the WWE Raw show, but again 8 p.m. now that time, where the TNA show starts. And I think that's a wise move. You just can't go up against a behemoth like Raw, certainly with a 0.6 rating. I think there was emergency meetings in that Spike boardroom where perhaps they said, we got to do something, and do something very quickly. You can't have 0.6s every week, and indeed Shawn Michaels can't account for all those bad ratings, but then often that's what they try and work to us. Now this week we firstly saw those beautiful people on screen with Lacey, and indeed now always welcome to see those girls. We had a fantastic team of Jeff Jarrett, Hulk Hogan and Abyss, and indeed those three guys in the ring cut serious promos. Jarrett a little bit quiet, and then out came Sting, Ric Flair, and a few others. I mean, I think Desmond Wolfe was involved in there, Chelsea as well. But to see that amount of star power, and to see Jarrett sitting back there, he must have been wondering to himself, how did I get these guys here? Or he may have thought, I'm the best work out there.
You couldn't have put that one better. He has to be saying to himself, Jarrett, are we actually completely fucked? I mean, because with those ratings that low, and it's getting a bit hairy now, this whole TNA situation. I mean, some of the booking and some of the matches, I mean, what really annoyed me, and we'll get to it in a minute, is this the Knockouts title and how it changed hands so flippantly at the end of the show. I mean, I don't really know what the hell they were thinking with that. I mean, it was just to end the show was pretty awful. But yeah, I don't know if Jarrett is having the last laugh, or if Bischoff and Hogan are having the last laugh. But I think the place is in a bit of a mess at the moment.
Yeah, a lot of controversial stuff on TNA this week. We'll get to that. Draven123, another one of our regular viewers, mentioning now that we're down to 10 viewers. I want to let you know, come back for Extreme Rules in a couple of weeks' time, and you'll see a couple more than that. I'm not sure if you saw WrestleMania night, but we don't talk too much about that quite large figure of audience that we had. We don't want to put ourselves over too much, but check us out around about the pay-per-view time, and then you'll see what kind of audience we can really pull in.
Yeah, I think it was probably one of the highest audiences in Justin history, if I recall. But yeah, we don't have to put ourselves over, really. There's no need. 10, 5, 25,000, doesn't really matter either way.
So yeah, come back for Extreme Rules. You'll see all about the audiences that this show can get. And indeed, we're not the only ones. Plenty of people here on Justin. I like to see huge audiences for Justin channels, because at this point, TV not delivering. We're sick of those schedules. We want to see what we want to see when we want to see it. Justin providing a really good option, an alternative to television, and more power to them. They do it all for free. And indeed, yeah, we don't have to pay a penny to get this broadcast on. But anyway, more of the TNA Impact action. Now, Hogan and Abyss really absolutely went hell for leather on this promo, and Abyss has stepped it up. He isn't holding back anymore, and indeed I think Hogan has been talking to him in the back, and I think that this is perhaps the biggest spot Abyss may ever be in. Who is going to look back at their wrestling career and talk about anything but their time and their shot with Hogan? He draws so much money. I mean, even on earnings front, Abyss has got to be sitting pretty.
He has, but at the same time, you've got to wonder what the wrestling fans and the wrestling community will think when they look back, even in 2 years' time, and go, remember that whole Abyss and Hogan thing with the Hall of Fame ring? What the fuck was that all about? And I think that's what's going to happen. I really do.
He's still talking about that Hall of Fame ring. He's still holding it up. That seems to be a huge part of this new gimmick that Abyss never needed in the first place. And it just seems to get him over as a Hulkamaniac. And indeed, I think Abyss certainly had enough to say and do on his own that he could have gone into it as he was. But then always those decisions to get more attention on Hogan. But like I say, I did like that combination, and to have that amount of star power with Flair there, Sting, Jarrett, Hogan, that is great. To see more of that will be fantastic, and I like to say that that is certainly a positive thing. And indeed, like I say, Jarrett probably now wondering how this has all happened, and indeed it's happened so quickly as well. Now the Flair promo went on, and indeed I forgot to mention that Beer Money were there as well. Hallelujah.
Yep, Beer Money getting into the mix, and nicely into the mix too. And they can deliver on all accounts. I think having them in that kind of a buzz works well with them, because they don't really need to have the belts, I don't think, Beer Money, and they can work with anybody, and they're that good on the mic, both of them, especially Rude, that you can put them in any picture, and they can perform, especially again Rude, in the ring. So not so much Storm at times, but as a tag team, terrific. I don't know about James Storm as a single competitor. I think he would definitely be last in the mix, but I'm always marking out for Rude. I think he's terrific.
Now, other things that happened on this week's TNA, we did of course have James Storm. He was in a match with, who was it again? I can't recall. We had Storm versus somebody or other, but certainly it doesn't occur to me now. I mean, that's probably where I was at watching TNA, and nothing really else huge stood out to me about TNA Impact this week. I mean, I was thinking a lot about that opening segment, and indeed the most controversial topic in TNA opinions this week is of course that lockbox match where we had the Divas belt, or indeed the women's belt, changing hands out of a box.
Yeah, it was an odd one. It was an odd one, especially to end the show. The striptease thing. I mean, it's gone backwards again. The Knockouts division. It's beyond WWE Raw Divas territory. I think with that lockbox, that whole lockbox deal.